moreplates.com. Today we're going to be talking about Gorilla Mode Nitric, which is the most potent stimulant-free pre-workout in the world. I'm not kidding when I say that, and I'm very confident there is no product that stacks up to this one in any regard whatsoever.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another one with us, the Review Bros, and today we're going to be bringing you a hyped product in the form of Gorilla Mode Nitric by Gorilla Mind, aka Derek over at More Plates More Dates. This is his stimulant-free pump formula, effectively. So stay tuned as we cover the usuals, the taste, the price, the label, the effects. Is it going to be the next one that you pick up? And don't forget, we have also already reviewed the standard stimulant version of this Gorilla Mode and Gorilla Mode Energy on the channel, so do check them out if they're of interest to you. But let's get into this one today. And if you are new, please do tick the subscribe button, tick the bell icon, all the usuals, like the video, everything. Push all the buttons, apart from the thumbs down. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go. Okay, taste the mixability. It comes in just a bunch of flavours, so I'll put up on the screen all the ones it comes in, but the one we've got is lemon lime. Nice safe bet. So let's take a look. So it's all mixed in, and 2 massively heaped scoops gets you that 35 grams. So obviously you're going to need a lot of water to get that mixed up so that it's more bearable, shall we say. But there's some little bits at the bottom, but honestly not that bad. And I have seen how it mixes in a shaker, and it's very much the same case with a little layer of things at the bottom, but you just sort of shake it and drink as you go. And when we get into the ingredients panel, it'll become very obvious, you know, why it's like that. But let's see how it tastes. That's not bad. Obviously it is chalky because of reasons we'll get into, but in terms of the flavour itself, yeah, can't really moan. There's no horribleness to it, no horrible undertones. Very much a lemon lime flavour. So I think they have nailed the flavour. Don't get me wrong, it's not delicious, but it's definitely not bad either. And myself and Aaron agree on this. We're going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. So if you want to pick up this bad boy, you're going to head over to gorillamind.com, where you can use our discount code RB10, works on everything on the site by the way, knocks this down to $48.60 or $2.43 per the serving, and when you put it on our price scale, it comes to a 3.5 out of 10. So definitely more expensive than your typical average pre-workout, but this is definitely a lot more than your typical pre-workout. And not only that, but you could easily argue when we get into the label that, you know, the full 2 scoops for the 20 servings might even be overkill for a lot of people. You could easily argue you can get 30 servings out of this or 40 servings out of this, which is obviously going to bump that price score up to more acceptable numbers. But even so, I do think, you know, what you're actually getting for your money is very respectable. So let's move into that label and let's find out. Okay, let's get into the exciting part, the label. So let's first of all see what it's promising to do. So it says raises nitric oxide, intramuscular hyperhydration, and increases power and endurance. So let's find out. So like I said, it's a massive serving amount. So the 2 scoops gets you 34.9 grams, so virtually 35 grams. Crazy stuff. Okay, so let's start with, so we've got some sodium and potassium up the top, which is obviously derived from the ingredients that we're going to come to later on. So we'll kind of leave that as it may for now. But we've got L-citrulline at 10 grams, which is honestly the highest dose we've ever seen in a product ever, literally ever. It's absolutely on the mega high echelon of dosing for that ingredient. I really don't know if you can even use any more than 10 grams, but yeah, basically they've maxed it out. So that's the amino acid that's going to bump up nitric oxide levels in the bloodstream, helping with blood flow and pumps. And yeah, I would honestly say that's probably over double the typical amount that you would see. So And then we move down into creatine monohydrate at the maximum dosage of 5 grams. Obviously your daily intake is 3 to 5 grams, so again, upper end of dosing. That's going to help with power, strength, endurance, bit of pumps, you know, all of the goodies. You guys know what creatine is. And then we've got betaine anhydrous at 4 grams. Normally I only see this at 2 to 2.5. So again, coming on double the norm. That's going to help with hydration, pumps, endurance, power. And it's definitely going to synergize well with that creatine and some other bits. Namely the next ingredient, which is Glycopump, 65% glycerol powder, 4 grams again, which is, I think, probably the highest dose we've seen of it. Even though, you know, they say you need like 20, 30 grams to use it from an endurance standpoint, but we're looking at hyperhydration here. And realistically, this is the highest amount you could really use in a pre-workout with other ingredients. And I do believe Derek does sell a standalone glycerol product if you really wanted to go full on berserk mode. But yeah, solid dose as today's standards go for pre-workouts, but that's going to help with hyperhydration, you know, like it says on the front there, intramuscular hyperhydration. It's going to pull in all the water into the muscle cells, swell you out like a good one. So then we move down to malic acid at 3 grams, which you normally see thrown alongside L-citrulline, but he's listed it separately here on the label, which is nice to see, so there's no confusion. 3 grams, decent amount. It's going to help a bit with endurance, things of that nature. And then we move down to agmatine sulfate at a nice dose again, definitely on the higher end, 1.5 grams. That's going to help again boosting nitric oxide levels. It's going to help pumps last longer by the way it works, and it does also help from a mental standpoint. It's been shown to help with pain relief as well, which is a cool little side note. Then we've got nitrosogene, another registered ingredient here, 1.5 grams. Again, I'm getting tired of saying it, the maxed out dosage of what you'd ever want to use for this ingredient, inositol stabilised arginine silicate. So a fancy pants version of L-arginine. It's going to last in the bloodstream longer, synergised with L-citrulline, boosting up nitric oxide levels within the bloodstream. And obviously that ties in with the little bit up there you see for the potassium, 75 milligrams, it's come from that. And then next up we've got sodium nitrate at 1.5 grams. Obviously if you move your eyes up to the top of the label, you'll see that sodium listed from the nitrate there at 387 milligrams, meaning the rest of that bond is nitrates, which is a mega dose. Mega dose. So that's going to catapult into the bloodstream, obviously boosting up nitric oxide levels, again tying in with all of the other ingredients that are going to do the same thing. And the next ingredient actually, Vasodrive AP, another registered ingredient, maxed out dose again, 254 milligrams, again going to help with boosting nitric oxide levels. So you really can't miss with this product. It's covering every single pathway that you'd want to address from a boosting nitric oxide level standpoint, from a hyperhydration standpoint, and from a standpoint of making sure that pumps last longer. They don't dwindle out of the bloodstream quickly. So the label is insane. It's probably the best pump formula label we've seen. I mean, it does speak for itself from a pump standpoint. So let's see, does this label translate into real world effects or not? Okay, where do I start with this? Where do I start with this? Well, me and Aaron have used it 2 times each, and I think that's all we needed to use it for before we knew what the effects are like, because honestly, it is such a unique experience. It really is. It almost feels like, you're training in a way you've never trained before, in terms of how contractions feel, in terms of how quick you get pumped, in terms of how much you get pumped, and in terms of how long pumps last, because it really is insane. It really is insane. And why would you expect anything less when a label is like that? Like, it's one of those ones that comes together just as you'd expect it to. Nasty, juicy, sweating pumps, also with a dry, contractionary, vascular feel to it. Strength is up, endurance is up, smashing PBs. Honestly can't fault it. You know, from a pump formula standpoint, absolutely fantastic. The only thing that me and Aaron would want in a stimulant-free pre-workout would perhaps be some nootropics, and for us, our personal choice, itchy butthole ingredient beta-alanine. But, you know, fair enough. Obviously, there's reasons why he's not put it in there. Derek himself doesn't like it. There's a bunch of people out there that don't like it, and you would argue you don't need it in a pump pre-workout. So that's neither here nor there. That's personal preference. There's no negatives. There's no struggle with digestion, which I'll be honest is quite surprising, because there's no digestive aid. You know, there's no estrogen, black pepper extract, nothing like that. But it goes through absolutely fine. and like I say, you get pumped on set number 1 and you're pumped for a good few hours after the gym. It really, honestly, it's one of those ones where you look in the mirror and you look about 10 to 20 pounds heavier than you really are. Your delts are swelling, your chest is swelling, you just look wide as a house. You honestly have to use it to believe it. You really do have to use it. And I think anyone who has used it, please do comment below and let me know, because I know that your experience is going to be just like ours. It's just, yeah, it's an insane product. So with all that being said, what it sets out to do and what it gives you, we're going to give it a 12 out of 10. I'm just joking, obviously a 10 out of 10. It probably is the best pump only stimulant free pre-workout on the market right now. Like, disregarding the nootropic side of things and disregarding the fact we like beta alanine, pumps, endurance, you know, vascularity, the best there is. I really do, hand on heart, believe that. So does Aaron. So I do think it's one of those ones that everyone's going to have to try, because it's one of those ones where you don't believe how good it is till you use it. I don't know what more I can say really, but yeah, let me know your thoughts below. Are you going to pick it up? What other Gorilla Mind products have you used? And as always, stay pumped.
Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough.